Good afternoon. Oh, wait. It's only afternoon for us. I don't know if it's afternoon for everybody. Good morning, evening, afternoon, noontime, lunch, breakfast. How is everyone doing?
It's breakfast somewhere.
It's always breakfast somewhere.
You could
That's
say
the
it's also
saying.
brunch.
Oh, dude, brunch is so good.
Brunch is probably my favorite meal.
Brunch is good because it's an excuse to eat breakfast food at lunchtime.
That's true.
It's like how they have breakfast for dinner, and it's just
yeah.
excuse to eat breakfast for dinner.
What do you call breakfast for dinner? Is that Brenner?
I mean, I don't know.
Or
Sure, Brenner.
Okay.
Why not? I just say breakfast for dinner. What did you have for dinner? I had breakfast for dinner.
Nice. Because man, I think one person tried to tell me it's dunch. I'm like, no, it's not, you idiot.
Dunch.
I know.
First of all, that's
dinner.
mixing lunch and dinner, not breakfast.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, and lunch and dinner is lunner.
Thank you.
Because you take the first three letters of lunch, which is lun, and the last three letters of dinner, which is ner. Lunner.
I've heard linner before.
I have two, and that's wrong.
There are two people in the world. You either say lunner or
in my
you're wrong.
opinion, where English was my worst school subject, that's wrong.
Dude, I fucking hated English class in high school.
I was still good enough to be in honors,
It's true.
but
In our school,
fuck
man,
that class.
Dude, in our school though, it wasn't that hard to get in honors.
No, but only the smart people did it.
That's true, because it was like an option, right?
Yeah, like the dumb kids were like, I'm not doing honors. Fuck that.
I remember
So-
going to middle school English class, and it was like, at the time it was like Miss Tatum, Miss O'Brien.
Oh yeah, they had like the joint classroom.
Oh my god, that was the craziest thing in the world.
It was so weird.
Because like two classrooms, they would talk in the middle.
Yeah, I never understood it because we would like half the time have our own separate lessons and then half the time be collabing with the other classroom.
Yeah, and then you'd be like sitting in the middle, and you'd be like, so confused.
Yeah.
Like you'd be in the middle of the classroom, you're like, oh, I can hear both lectures.
Yeah. So it's like, what am I doing?
Yeah, because one side would do like even questions, the other one would do odd questions.
Yeah.
It's like, what's the point?
I don't know. It was weird.
At least it got me ready for college.
Was that the class that we had to do the like Globe Theater project?
No, that was ninth grade English. That was Miss Best.
That was best. Oh, that was right. That was high school. Yeah.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Mine was. Wait, who did I do it with? I did it with.
I don't know who you did it with.
Who'd you do it with? Was it by yourself?
I did it with Tyler Westover.
Oh, Westover. I haven't seen that dude in forever. I wonder
Dude,
what he's
me
up to
neither.
nowadays.
But we both used that as part of our accumulating project stuff because like ours was hella dope.
Yeah.
I remember he kept asking me for pictures and I totally kept dropping the ball on it and I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Did you make it out of like popsicle sticks?
Yeah.
That's as one should.
Yeah, of course. Fucking, we used so much super glue, or not super glue, the
Gorilla
hot glue.
Oh, hot glue, yeah.
Yeah.
That's clean.
We bought
Hot glue?
sticks upon
Nice.
sticks of hot glue.
Yeah, dude, that's legit. I remember the egg basket contest.
What's his
Like
name?
8th grade. Or like 7th, no, I think it was 7th grade?
No, it was 8th grade, because I know I did it.
Frack, I don't remember his name.
I don't remember the science teachers in middle school.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I apologize to my teachers.
I apologize to my teachers for forgetting you more than 10 years ago.
I know, right? Was it Rissmiller?
I don't know.
I remember he had several in R.
I
He was a
I
boss.
want to say my science teacher in 8th grade was pregnant.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh, yeah, I know who it is.
I don't know who she was. I don't remember her name.
Is that Miss Heckles-Miller?
I don't know.
Because I think she was pregnant at the time, and then... Oh, wait, was she pregnant? I can't remember. Whatever.
I don't know.
Either way, the egg basket thing was, like,
Yeah.
probably the highlight of the year.
I remember I tested mine like multiple times at my house and it
Yeah.
worked. And then when
Yeah.
we did it at the school, the cement fucked it over.
Yeah, dude, we did it, like... And it was, like, 2 stories, like, on the second floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
It
top of
was
the
off
stairs.
of one of the stairs. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. On the
But
side,
I was
right?
testing mine like inside because I figured, oh, we're gonna do it like in the science room somehow.
Yeah.
So I was testing
That's
it on
creepy
like my
out.
hardwood flooring, and I was like, oh look, I did this like 3 or 4 times. The egg didn't break, and then I was like,
Yep.
okay, it's good. And then we did it at school. It's like, nope, it broke. And I was like, fuck.
Yeah, dude. It's like anybody who did a parachute probably like won.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about doing a parachute. I was like, oh, I'll just set up a suspension system.
Oh, dude, I totally did a suspension system with hella rubber bands.
Yeah, I did hella rubber bands.
Yeah.
Little did I know.
I had,
the
like, a-
sheer force.
Yeah,
killed
and
me.
I thinking about it now, I should have just had like a shit ton of like packing peanuts or something at the bottom,
Yeah.
or like foam, just anything to absorb the impact. Because I think we had, I don't know what we had, but yeah, I don't know. There's so much I could have improved on.
For sure.
Looking back in hindsight as an adult.
In hindsight, I know, right? Things we regret. Oh, that's what we should do in this episode. Things we regret from school.
Oh god.
You know, people would connect with that.
I mean, I don't even know like how much I regret from school.
I don't regret much. To be honest,
Yeah.
I don't really regret much.
Yeah, like even the girls I dated, it's like, you know what? Gave me experience.
That's true. That's true. It's a learning opportunity, which school is supposed to be about.
Yeah, exactly. And you're like, you know, get your first girlfriend, you don't know what
Yeah.
you're doing.
Yeah.
You get your second girlfriend, you kind of know a little bit more, but still don't really know what you're doing.
Yeah, it's fun. It's funny because a lot of this stuff, like we worry about, like how we're gonna treat the other person or what we're gonna do for the other person, and really just learning about yourself.
Yeah.
I feel like I've learned more about what I like and dislike about people just by the relationships I've been in.
That's fair.
Because I feel like there's a level of tolerance you have, and then all of a sudden, like everything breaks down. at
I
the
think you
end.
get like a. You almost get like a really good idea of what you really look for in a person, too. Like the more relationships you have, or the more you look back on your relationships.
Yeah, I see that.
Because I feel like that happened with me, with
Yeah.
my one in college.
Uh huh. Is there a certain, like, if you had top three like personality traits you're looking for,
Oh,
have you figured those out, or is it still a laundry list that you're still trying to do it on?
I mean, I could probably think of a top three. Because
Is there anything that-
I think sense
yeah.
of humor is like a really big one.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the person that I'm with has to like mesh with my sense of humor. Because like I've been with someone who kind of had it, and like we would go back and forth, and that was like amazing.
Oh, that's good.
like we bounce off each other, and that's perfect. I love that, and I love laughing, which is a stupid thing to say because who like starts laughing and is like, no, I fucking hate laughing. You know.
It's overly serious people.
Exactly, overly serious people. Oh, he opened his eyes. I feel bad. My dog's name is Sirius for people listening, and he's sleeping right now. But I woke
It's a
him
black dog.
I woke him up.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh no.
That's okay. So yeah, sense of humor. God, I don't even. There's like so many traits that are just important. You know.
Well, you can just go through them. We
'Cause,
can
like,
always we can always
'cause
prioritize them later.
True. I want someone who can communicate well. I want someone who's like trustworthy. And when I mean, like in the trust thing, it's kind of on you too. Like you have to be able to trust that person.
Yeah, you'd be open.
Yeah. God, I don't even know. I just need someone that like clicks with me, and there's not really like a set list of things that can determine that. I think.
Well, my problem is, at least in the people that I've dated, or it's been like you go through an initial period of, oh, they're this sort of person, and then it changes. Like there's this perception that you have that got you attracted to them in the first place.
Right.
And it was really just like, I wouldn't say a facade, but almost like a
I mean, it's just there. You don't really know everything about someone off the bat.
Yeah, but I feel like finding the person because you know how people are like, you have to be outgoing, you have to be this is outspoken, but you have to be like super confident.
Mm-hmm.
But even when like if someone's like overtly over the top, you know that gets your attention. But then when you talk with them, and it's almost like talking to like a brick wall. It's like they lose any sense of what they like learned from the vlog or from the blog that taught them how to get your attention in the first place.
Yeah.
It only stopped at step 1.
Right. Yeah. Step 1 is how you get noticed.
Yep.
You got to keep going.
You got to be able to finish, my friends.
Yeah.
Um,
yeah. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard for me to pinpoint like specific traits.
Yeah, I mean, I've always looked at girls like the humor thing has always been a big aspect for me.
That's always like my first big go-to is just sense of humor. And it's not like if that person has a sense of humor, because I think everyone has a sense of humor. Everyone's humor is just like different. Yeah. So it's like the type of humor that my future wife has, like, would very well mesh with mine.
Do you think our humor though is hella like niche?
I want to say it is, but I also feel like it's not.
No, I don't. It's very like How I Met Your Mother, The Office, sort of like at its basic.
But I mean, like humor. But like, there's a lot of like immaturity in those humors, and like, sure, we have immature humor at times, but we also have like crazy wit too.
Oh yeah, we like pop culture is a huge thing, and a lot of references.
Yeah.
So you'll hear that a lot in this podcast, but I think when we use it, we go so remote. It's like, deep cut. We go the deepest cut.
There was a comedian who talked about when he does jokes and he starts out really broad and he keeps going and going like into more and more specifics until he gets like one person in the crowd that's laughing, and I'm like, I feel like I'm that guy. We'll just keep going and going, and we're losing people as we go, and then by the time we get to the end of it, we're just the only two people laughing at each other.
But that makes it a personal experience.
Oh, yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
it's personal to us.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'll say something to my group of friends at work, and then like a few of them will laugh. And, like that's the audience that I wanted.
You three, come with me. The rest of you, F off.
Yeah, I know, right? But even then, like some of the girls get it, which is like, oh, I'm impressed by that. So I wonder if it's like also a location thing, because I feel like a lot of girls probably from California would probably get a lot of the humor we get, because also the YouTubers that we listen to or watch are like living in California right now.
Maybe.
Like even because some of the West Coast girls I've met over here in Philly, they're like, yeah, I'll say something, and then they'll laugh, but then I'll use it on the same like some New Jersey girls, and it's like it doesn't land, not as well.
It could be a geographic thing.
Yeah. But one would think like up in Washington State it would be better. You know what I mean?
I don't know. You're talking to someone who never goes anywhere. So.
Well, I mean, I think the problem is we're in such our state's like a dichotomy, right? Because you have like Seattle and then us, like a little south, and then all of a sudden like it's like rural.
Yeah.
Washington.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like the city, the suburbs, and then country.
Yeah. And so you lose a lot, like in that middle ground area.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're so outdoorsy of a group.
I mean,
as a state.
Yeah. I mean, the group itself, I think we do get outdoorsy. Like we've had camping trips.
That's true.
And I know we've done I've done a couple hikes with the friend group, and like when you came to visit me in Boise, we did a hike.
That's true. But do you think like that is like more of the rarity? Like that's more of like an event than it is like the norm?
Possibly. I think for us, a lot of the outdoorsy things we do is sports related.
Yeah, sports, and then probably walking around the city.
Yeah,
I feel like that's like our jam. It's like we're more like suburban city kids than we are.
But like I still like I love camping and hiking.
Oh yeah, that's fun. Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, go ahead.
I think like hiking for me, it's almost more of like an elevated photo walk, just so I can
Yeah,
like
yeah,
get
yeah.
my pictures in, because I love walking around and getting pictures, and I'll do that with people. Like I'll go out with Alyssa, and we'll
Oh,
just
okay.
like find an area that we want to explore, and we'll take pictures.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I just think it really takes us to like a different like side of ourselves whenever we do those sort of trips.
yeah,
Um,
they are less common.
they are definitely less common for sure.
Yeah,
A lot of fun though.
yeah.
Like the
I
one
feel like
before the
the
wedding.
yeah the one before the summer before the wedding was good.
That's probably my favorite trip
Dude, I've
I've taken in a
never
long
like, but
time.
that was the first time I actually went to like the coast of the state.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I've
Oh, that's
always been
right.
like around the sound, but I've never actually gone out to the coast. So it's like
Interesting.
I was staring out at the ocean. I was like, I've never seen the Pacific from here. I've only seen it from
Yeah,
Hawaii.
yeah. And then we went to like the Star Wars store
Oh,
on our
dude,
way
yeah,
back. That was sweet.
that was cool.
And we were there for like a couple. Like we were there for a while too.
Did I buy anything there? I feel like I did.
I don't think I did. I was about to buy that lightsaber. That
I think I bought the like OG movie poster.
yeah. You did because you got like like that one, like the episode 4.
Yeah,
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah, those are probably like my favorite times. Yeah, I needed something to kind of bring it back. It's like that's the sort of stuff like I would want someone to be into, like
yeah,
be like flexible. They don't have to like love it, but they have to be okay with like going on like certain trips.
right.
Um,
Yeah, and that's the thing is, there's a lot of things where I'm like, oh, I want someone that likes this, but then like realistically, it's like, well, they don't need to like it, but as long as they're like okay with it or open to like going to do something with me, at least to just spend time with me.
yeah, exactly. Because because it's more or less the time when you're, that's when you kind of know the character of a person is when they are doing something for you
Yeah,
and don't and
that's
don't
true.
mind and don't mind it because it makes you happy.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, at the same time, I'd be willing to do things for her.
Hmm.
It's a two-way street.
Yeah. So one of the things I always look for in a girl is like, do they like, I guess, a particular music genre, or do they
Oh,
hate a particular music genre? Because
oh,
if they hate punk, man, I don't know if we can, I don't know if we can hang out.
yeah, yeah.
You know?
That's something that I don't really think about, but
Hmm.
I should, because I have a very different music taste than most people,
Yeah.
and I feel like it'd be really hard for me to find someone who, who
Yeah, your
like
your music taste.
matches.
Yeah, and your music taste is like like we're similar, but I think you kind of I think ours sort of veers a little bit from each other.
I think you're more open to like pop stuff
Yeah, for sure.
and
I think
top
that's
40. Yeah, and
yeah.
I'm like hella against top 40 unless my stuff makes it on there, but
Hmm.
it never does.
Alternative top 40.
I mean, alternative has their own chart, but even like alternative now is
They're hella
starting
poppy.
to like it's not really like the sound that I like.
What would you describe the sound as now?
I think like the problem now is I think genres are bleeding into each other so much that they almost like don't exist.
I like a fusion sort of way.
Yeah, I think like everything is just kind of music now.
I get that.
Yeah,
Uh,
because you have artists that are just like it blends rock, it blends EDM, it blends pop, it blends rap, whatever.
Imagine Dragons.
No, no. I meant more like Billie Eilish. I feel like she's very like genreless,
Oh, I don't. Yeah, I don't even know what the classifier is.
right? Because she has
What is-
like
Yeah.
she has like soft acoustics, but then she also has like heavy bass and pumping, like trap hi hats.
It's like you
And
can't
then at the
label
same
me.
time, she'll like turn around and do something super soft and edgy.
Yeah, I don't. Oh man, I don't. Even, I'm trying to think what you would classify her as.
I
Retro
don't know.
pop.
I don't even know. Like I don't. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying is like all the genres kind of bleed in with her, and it's almost like genreless.
Yeah, I think I would probably yeah. I mean, I would still consider her like pop probably like alternative pop if there's something to be called
Yeah,
it.
maybe.
Um,
But as far as like what I listen to,
mhm.
like I I do like the jazz and the classical just because of like music roots in general.
Okay,
And musicals. I have a soft spot for musicals.
musicals are great.
But the biggest chunk is just like rock. Like you got the guitars, you got the solos, and you got the
Yeah,
like harsher lyrics. Oh, sorry, I dropped my water bottle.
that's good.
Um, yeah, and I feel like that sound is it's just harder to find like
Hmm.
a rock sound in today's music. Like I have to
Yeah,
look for it.
yeah, and it's not like Blink 182 or like All American Rejects. Like I haven't heard like a good band come out that like really took over like my listening space. Like I haven't found anybody that really hit me that way in a
I
long
think
time.
like for me, the newest band I found that
Uh huh.
I kind of like got addicted to was Ghost.
Ghost.
Yeah, I don't know if you're familiar with them.
Probably not.
Their sound is it's like anti-church metal
Oh,
rock.
are they
It's
Swedish?
weird because like they'll have like because their whole like facade is anti-church. Like
Oh,
the guy perceives himself as like a Catholic father or whatever, but
uh,
it's very like the lyrics are very like anti-Christian, but they'll have like the big organ type like uh what do you call the like church hymns, I guess. So it's almost
yeah.
like hymnal in the church organ, but
Oh,
then they'll come over the top with the guitar riffs, and it's
did
very
they
like Lucifer, Antichrist.
did
But
they win? Did they win a Grammy?
I don't know. I think they were nominated for best rock something at one point. But
Whoa.
their album
Uh,
Meliora, I think it's Meliora. I don't actually know how to pronounce it, but it's a really good album. Um, it's rock. It's the rock sound that I like.
interesting.
But that's like the most recent band that I got like hooked on. I don't know how long ago it was I found them.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I think they won something in 2016. I think they won Best Performance.
Oh, there you go.
That's
That
cool.
was that might have been their newest album. It's 2016.
Good
No,
stuff.
they had one in like 2018. I don't remember
Let's see.
discography. Yes,
Yeah,
2018 they had prequel. 2015 was Meliora.
gotcha.
Yeah. Did they win a
Yep.
Grammy?
Yeah,
Oh
2016
yeah,
Grammy Award for
no.
Best Metal Performance. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Oh yeah, that
Check
was
them
for
out.
Cerise. Oh, that's a good song. Cerise.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I'll check them out.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if you'd like them or not, but
I mean, I can listen to metal. Like it's. I guess they're like heavy hard rock, right?
yeah.
I guess we
And
could say
it depends on the song too, because some of them are. I'd call them a metal band, I guess.
okay. Because they're yeah. I can see that. Yeah, that this would fit more metal band. That's cool. Is there a genre that you would like if the girl really loved it? You'd be like, I'm not into that.
I mean, I've never gotten into like mainstream like trap rap.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I could do it. I can't do it.
Like
Like
is
like old school like 80s rap I can handle, and I feel like that kind of rap still exists out there, like good rap.
like Will Smith rap.
No, not even like Will Smith, but like but I feel like that kind of rap I could probably get into, but like the mainstream crap,
Mm.
I don't know.
There's a lot of like rap out there that I couldn't listen to. Maybe like mumble rap or
Yeah.
like or the ones who try to hit you like like with the underground rap. It's like so hard that it's like I don't. My brain doesn't like this.
Yeah.
I
I just
I'll do
never
like
enjoyed that sound.
yeah, I'll do like Eminem, Jay Z. I'll listen to those guys.
Mm.
But there's some underground guys that I'm like, I can't listen to this.
Yeah.
And something like 90s, 80s rap, so like I'll listen to it. It probably won't be my favorite, but
Yeah.
I'll take it in.
There's just something that I tend to appreciate when it's like someone actually singing or someone actually playing an instrument versus just like
Running over a
essentially
track
spoken word over an electronic
on a
created
beat.
yeah
Yeah.
beat. Yeah.
I get that. Um,
So I think I just tend to flock to like real sounds.
Guitar,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit of keyboard here.
Yeah. Violin. And
Yeah,
even like going
violin.
into like classical and jazz where you have like the piano or like strings or a big
In
band.
Gotcha. And speaking of classical, you said you were heading back into piano, right? So how's that been
I
going?
am. Yeah, it's been going pretty good. I'm trying to practice every day. I've been doing a pretty good job at practicing every day. At
That's
least during
good.
the week. Like the weekends I feel like I haven't been, but
Okay.
during the week I've been doing a good job. And I'm
So
learning a
what's
Bach piece.
Bach? Nice. Which Bach
Yeah.
piece?
It's Prelude 1
Prelude.
in C major.
Good old C major.
Yeah. So it's a nice and easy like ease back into piano because there's no sharps or flats in C major.
Yep. What got you into piano in the first place, and what brought you back into it?
I think originally it was my mom, and she was just
Okay.
like, "Oh, we want you guys to take piano,"
Nice, nice.
and I enjoyed it, but I just like was so lazy in high school, and so like, oh, I don't want to do anything that I like didn't put the time and effort into, like, get better. So I stopped,
Okay.
and then ever since like college, I've wanted to get back into it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with the like stay home order, I'm like here with my brother and he plays, so I'm just like, hey, would you be willing to teach me? And he said yes. So
Nice.
yeah, it's kind of cool because he took like music theory and stuff in college. So
Gotcha.
he's kind of teaching me like theory as we're learning pieces. So it's more than just like, oh, here's a piece, learn how to play it. It's kind of like going into
Chords.
it's like what the composer's like trying to do with the piece, like the movement through the key signature,
That's
like
cool.
the chord progression and like how it makes sense. Yeah,
Gotcha.
it's pretty cool.
Like some like conflict resolution sort of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
chords. Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
like in this Bach piece, it has that like 2-5-1 resolution.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was into a little bit right now. Yeah, it sounds pretty nice.
yeah,
A lot of
and
arpeggios.
it's kind of a workout.
Yeah, yeah. It's like your wrist gets screwed up if you haven't like I haven't played in a long time, and I'll
Yeah,
play again. Like, oh, okay, I
yeah.
feel that.
It was messing my wrist up. Like the first couple weeks, I was like, dude, what am I doing? And so Chad actually helped me with that too. He was like, because like we're moving up and down the piano so much, he's like, it helps to like lean instead of just move your wrists. Because then when you're moving your body,
Yeah.
your wrist can still stay in that relaxed position.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And
That
then
makes sense.
also like sitting further back in the piano, your wrists don't move at like the higher angles. That'll hurt your wrist. So it's become more comfortable over time.
Yeah, dude. That's good. That's sweet. What's your ultimate goal?
Oh, dude, I just want to be able to play.
Okay. Like
I don't
read
know.
and play, or like we can sight read, or just like you just
I
pick
don't know
up some
about sight
chords
read, but
and make up some stuff.
yeah, and just like I don't know, music is like a very calming thing for me. So to be able to like sit down at a piano and just play, I think would be like mentally healthy for me.
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah, that's cool.
Plus, I always admire like musical talent, and so like I don't know, just being able to be like, oh yeah, I know how to play piano, and then just kind of showing people what I'm learning. I don't know.
I I had this thing back in probably elementary school where I would listen to a song and then want to like learn it on piano. And
Yeah.
the only way I could do it was to be like sing along with it, and then you kind of figure it out one by one. That was all the way of me learning songs.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I listen to it and then I'll learn the chord. Like I'll find some chords, like on a
Yeah.
guitar app or like a random
Right.
website, and then
And once
kind of
you have
construct it
that, you
from
can
there.
kind of put it together once you have like the chord progression.
Yeah, exactly. Because it makes you like, oh, okay, I know the scale. I kind of know how the chords are moving along. Makes things
Yeah.
a lot easier. Chords are like the best thing to learn.
Yeah. And I'm not
Um,
necessarily
hmm
like memorizing chords. Like I know a C major
hmm
from this song
hmm
or this piece rather is like C E G.
Okay.
Um, but it's more like you can kind of if you were to like play all the notes in like the bar that you're working with, you can kind of
hmm
see like what chord that is that you're playing, and you can just see the progression that the composer is going through.
Yep.
It's kind of
Yep.
cool. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it where
No,
it's like
I.
super fascinating to a general audience.
Oh, it's like this. You see the notes and you see the movement of the notes on the paper, and as you're playing it, it's almost as if like it's telegraphing what the next note is going to be. In most
Yeah, and
cases.
it's almost like you can once you understand like where the piece is moving, you can just kind of guess it where it's going next.
Mm-hmm. And it
Or
sounds pleasant.
I've noticed that I've remembered what's next because of that. Where I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, well I remember that this goes into the next bar a certain way. So if I'm like kind of stuck, like, oh, what are those notes? Then I can just kind of. I've
Mess
gotten to
around
the
with it.
point with this piece where I'm like, oh, I'm pretty sure it goes here, and then
Mm-hmm.
as I'm reading it, my hand like already moves to that spot. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this is correct.
Yeah, and it feels right.
Yeah, so it's almost like my hands are understanding it more before my eyes see it coming.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it's weird.
No, dude. That's that. You exactly like describe muscle memory. So
Yeah, it really is. It's like muscle memory.
yeah, because you're like it's a flow thing, and this is what people like. Like I'm the type of learner that requires muscle memory, or else I'll forget stuff.
Hmm.
Because that's why I like learning concepts now, because it's like I can't learn a piece just by memorizing it. Like that's how I used to do, but then I would forget it like 2 weeks later if I haven't played the piano for a while.
Yeah,
And what I needed was to play it over and over and over and over and over
yeah,
and over and over again, annoying everybody in the process. But then at the end of the day, it's like you kind of like know how to play it. That's why whenever I go to your house or whenever I go to like a random piano, like there are like maybe a subset of like 10 to 15 songs I could just play out
yeah.
of the blue, and it's because I know the chord progression, and then two, my hands kind of know where to go,
Hmm.
uh, on the melody side, just to play those tracks. So
And that's like mostly just because you've done it so much that it's
yeah,
like just
yeah.
ingrained in your head.
At that point, it's basically a repertoire. So
Yeah,
and that's I think for you that'd be the best thing to learn. And I think
right.
it's true. Like, if you haven't had a goal yet, and or if it's like not past that, I'd say aim for that, and I think you'll be
Yeah,
set.
yeah. And like the goal, I mean, it's kind of some of the goal is just so like I can play stuff for people. I can be like, oh man, I'm playing piano, and they're like, what? You can play piano, and then I can like play it. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's I don't want to say it's like a showboaty thing, but I want to be able to like share it with people if they ask. You
Yeah.
know?
Well, that's the thing too. It's like this is a thing for all the kids out there, and your parents made you do all the piano lessons. Just do them.
Yeah,
Just go ahead and do them.
yeah.
You're not gonna
And
like it.
really like stay with it
Yeah.
because the stuff that you like and think you like in middle school and high school is going to change when you get older, and you're going to realize a lot of the stuff you enjoyed as a kid is actually like more valid.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly. Yeah, because there's gonna come a day when you're gonna be faced with a piano or some random musical instrument in front of you, and you're trying to impress this girl. And man, what a ace in the hole if you're able to play your favorite song on the piano.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like what a game changer. And I've used that. I've used that so many times, and it's helped. So it's
Oh,
like
for sure.
it's like you just take advantage of like the skills that you
Because
learn.
like there's just like seeing someone play something like that, like indirectly, like subconsciously, someone knows like there's a lot of hard work that went into that, and it like already checks off boxes for what people
Exactly.
look for.
It's like a dedication thing. It's like, oh, he
Yeah,
he did something that he likes, and he
yeah, and
like
it's
has
like it
initiative
shows
with it.
like talent, right? It shows like you're willing to like work at something, so it's like an ethical work ethic thing.
Mhm. Mhm.
Plus,
Yeah.
it sounds good,
Yeah.
so I
Exactly.
like. Yeah.
That's true. The thing I can't do yet is play classical, and it's funny enough because the first few songs that I learned were all classical songs,
Yeah.
like Furley's, Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, etc. But I never had the dexterity nor the ability to read bass clef with treble clef. Like I can never separate the two because my
Mm.
mind has always been treble clef, so I read all the notes as the same, whether it's bass clef or treble
Oh,
clef.
I see.
So I have that hard time switching to the like, oh, this is an expanded scale,
Yeah.
not just a not like it's two treble clefs that I'm looking at.
Right. Yeah, I find treble clef easier to read.
Yeah, agreed.
Um, and I'm starting to get the hang of bass clef
Mm-hmm.
just from this piece because this piece does move pretty far down the piano.
Oh,
Um,
gotcha. Mm-hmm.
so I have kind of recognized some of the pieces like the C, an octave below middle C,
Mm-hmm.
appears a lot in that piece, and so I know
Okay,
where that is. If I saw it on a bass clef, I could be like, yeah, that's a C.
gotcha.
Yeah, it's the second white space in the bass clef if you're going from the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
that for me is probably the one thing I need to work on the most. It's not even just like playing like from bass clef, it's just being able to read it, and so that I
Yeah.
can be able to get my mind thinking that way.
And I mean,
And
maybe just do a piece like this where you're playing a lot of
yeah,
that bass clef, and just
yeah,
by playing it enough, you recognize it. And this is coming from me where I haven't played piano since, middle school.
yeah.
So,
So yeah, and that's probably the reason why I've always kind of headed towards like pop songs and songs that are easy to learn because it's like, oh, I just need to know X, Y, Z, and then I can probably pretty much put everything else together.
yeah.
Because I never really want to put in that much effort to a classic piece. I mean, I would like to one day and be able to have that skill, but it's like,
Yeah.
if I like the song on the radio, I'm probably just gonna learn that one.
Mm.
So
Yeah, that's kind of funny because I have, like, no real, like, desire to play pop songs on piano.
so this is perfect then. Like you reading bass clef, you learning like the theory. That's
Yeah, and
amazing.
it's good that I'm, like, starting with classical pieces. And, like, I don't know what era Bach is, but
Hmm.
um, I'm sure I'll find out what eras I like from the classical genre.
Yeah. Bach's a good one. His stuff is more melodic.
Yeah,
Chopin is like very, it's melodic, but it's very like like you need a lot of dexterity.
yeah, and I know Chad really likes Chopin.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of Chad songs are like fast.
Yeah, but man, it sounds good when he
It does
plays.
sound good. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
great. So
so it's kind of like when he plays, it's kind of like me. For me, it's like something to shoot for is like where he's at.
yeah, because yeah, he's been playing for a long time. Like,
Oh yeah, he started at the same time I did, so like he
yeah,
was younger than I was, and he never stopped. So
he just liked it that much.
yeah,
It's cool.
and he's always been like musically gifted because he played violin in high school too, and he was like first chair in orchestra,
Oh, nice.
and he even played in the UW symphony orchestra, but he stopped because like school was getting too hectic
It's always
because
sucks, right?
engineering degree.
Yeah, no. Following the footsteps.
Yeah, he just like he couldn't make it work with his schedule.
That's always tough. Man, that sucks.
Yeah, and it's kind of sucks because like they sound good.
That's good, man. Well, so let's see here. We were talking about music and girls.
Yeah.
Uh,
This straight off of what personality traits do I want?
Welcome to the Beta Bros. Oh, the boy,
Banter.
Beta Bros cast.
Beta Bros banter.
Beta Bros Banter Brocast.
Too many bees. That's too many bees.
Way too many bees. You have to get
We
rid of the
just-
bee.
There's 3 bees, and that's enough bees. Because I'm afraid of bees.
But yeah, to go back to our original point, it's like if you find a girl who can play a musical instrument, what a plus.
Oh, that's such a plus.
Yeah, dude.
Or yeah, that's a big plus.
But yeah, my recent ex played the piano, and she was actually pretty good at it.
Yeah.
I can't. She was playing a song that'll come to me, but she always played all the time, and it always like sounded like majestic. I would like sit down on my couch while she's playing, and like, yup, that's my girlfriend. Hella good.
Yeah.
And then I dated some girls who've like been in band. You know, they played like
Yeah.
you know saxophone.
And the thing is, there's so many
clarinet.
like traits in a person that's like, yeah, that's a plus, but it's like, what's a plus and what's like required? I think that's the hard thing to find.
Ooh, yeah.
And I think it really depends on the person. There's just like, because everyone's different,
That's true.
and like there could be some girl, we'll just call her Becky. Fucking, I don't know.
Shout out
Let's-
to the Becky's
You
out
know,
there.
let's say Becky like meets a couple of my like for sure I want this in a person traits, but she doesn't have all of them. But she might have enough pluses in there that it's like I don't even like, it doesn't bother me that what I thought was a for sure thing I wanted
Oh yeah.
isn't
yeah.
there, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know if that made sense at all.
No, I get that.
I was trying to word it correctly.
No, I totally get that. It's like
Yeah.
there's enough small things for you to like the package, even though she doesn't fit like all the.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say
Like
vital
what I might
criteria.
think now is a deal breaker might not actually be a deal breaker,
Yeah, exactly.
depending on the person.
Me, I would like someone who can play either piano um, or can sing, because I like doing karaoke. So,
Dude, I wish I could sing. If I could have any like basic talent,
we
singing
just sing.
would be so nice to be able to do.
I think for you, man, it's really just tone, man. Once you understand like intonation, with
Yeah,
your
maybe.
voice,
I'm not a good singer. Like, I love singing and I'll sing to my music, but I know I'm not good.
I guess.
Which I guess is more than a lot of people because they'll think
Yeah.
they're good and it's like, nah.
yeah.
But
The key thing, man, is just like whenever you play a song on the piano, like if you listen to yourself, do you hear dissonance at all?
what's dissonance?
Dissonance is like it's like playing C and C sharp together.
Oh, like how it, like,
It doesn't jive.
yeah.
So when you
The
sing,
tension.
yeah, do you hear that sort of tension when you're singing with the piano?
No.
Okay.
Well, I don't sing with the piano, so I don't know.
Or like let's say if you're singing a note.
But if I'm singing with the song, like, I don't notice. I know I'm not
okay.
good, but
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And have you ever sang with like you guys have a tuner? Because I know Chad has like a couple tuners hanging around. Have you sang with that at all? Like if you're like,
don't
oh,
know.
I want to sing a C, and you play it, and then you sing it. Do you ever do that at all?
nope.
Try that. That's the first thing that's the first thing like one of my friends back in choir used to do, like when he was learning how to sing initially, was just to take a tuner that I would use for a musical instrument, and then he would play a note and then try to match pitch, and that was his way of trying to get in the right key, number one, figuring out his range, number two, and knowing what notes in his repertoire that were like off that he could tweak in order to get it correct. And then he would try to match and then he would learn songs like on the piano, and then he would try to match pitch with those notes as he's playing, and that's how he learned how to sing like pretty well in tune.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then your friends like, do you know? Remember Amelia?
Earhart. Yeah.
Uh, well, well, it's funny because she also is a pilot now.
Oh,
So,
that's funny. Tell her not to
uh,
go across
yeah,
oceans.
she's like a year older than us. She
Oh, I don't know anyone outside of our grade.
okay, gotcha. Like she had like perfect pitch.
Nice. I
So
wish I did. That'd
yeah,
be nice.
I wish I did too because that would make like learning songs that much easier.
Can you
Um,
imagine just like nobody knows who you are, and then all of a sudden you can just like sing like Frank Sinatra?
yeah, right.
That'd be
Good old
amazing.
Frankie. Yeah, good old Frankie.
Dude, he's so
Um,
good.
yeah, dude. Yeah, that would be such a cool skill to have because you can always use it whenever you need it.
Right? And it's not something like you don't even have to like showboat it. It could just be like, oh, I love this song, and then you start singing it, and then they're like, man, you can sing pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. I really want to learn how to. I'm still trying to learn how to harmonize.
Hmm.
If I can learn how to do that, that'd be great. That'd be a great skill to have.
I mean, just
Um,
listen to Queen. I don't know.
the problem is like I get so swept up in the melody line that I
Oh.
lose my ability to track the pitch.
Oh.
So I'm not sure if it's because I'm playing it too loud or if I'm just and I can't like center it on my own voice, or if
I
I
don't
just
know.
have a problem or a hard time trying to find the note itself.
I
Oh,
see.
everything.
Yeah, maybe. I wouldn't know what to tell you about that because I don't know. I don't really know anything.
If anybody in the audience wants to send me a tweet, that'd be great.
Yeah. Any
Like
any
any
vocal
tips?
coaches out there?
Yeah, exactly. Um, yeah, for me, but the one negative thing I would probably say would be like if a girl is like super into country and is playing country all the time, I don't know if I can handle that.
I just don't think I could handle a country girl.
I've dated a couple country girls. My prom date technically was from the country.
Mm.
Her dad owned a cabin in the woods. And
That's
I think
is
I
that
think,
country?
but no, but he had a farm though.
Okay, there you go. That's
Yeah, I didn't finish. Sorry. He had some horses. And so, and she and I got along great. Um, but I knew for a fact that her dad and I would never jive,
yeah.
at least from a social political standpoint.
Yeah, I think politics would be a big thing for me.
Yeah.
I don't think I could be with someone who's like on the opposite end of the spectrum for what they believe in. Because
Yeah.
like on the one hand, it might be like petty to say like, "Oh, why wouldn't you date someone that's not your political party?" But at the same time, it's like that's like a difference in almost like morals for like what you believe in and what they believe in, and it's like a fundamental thing.
It's true.
Like that's not going to change really.
That's true. Yeah, it's almost as if you have it's like a conflict in religions. It's
Yeah.
like you can't. I mean, you can try, but there's gonna be a
Yeah. I
point
mean,
where like kids are gonna get involved, and now it's gonna be a weird.
yeah. And now that you brought up the religion thing, I've dated someone who was a very strong religious person, and
Mm-hmm.
I got screwed over by this person, and I feel like that very much turned me off
From
to
religion.
religion things.
Were you into religion before that?
I was kind of, and like during, I got a little bit more because she was,
Mm-hmm.
but mostly because of the way it ended. Like it's just like it's almost like a PTSD thing in my head.
Oh, whenever you go back.
Yeah, it's like a my brain throws up a red flag in it for like super religious things.
Yeah, I mean, the last girl I dated was pretty religious. Like, back when she was in like like she went to a private school, for college, at the Villanova.
Mm.
So she was really into church. Her parents were super into church. Her parents were the way that they got over was sponsored through a church. so
Mm.
so
Yeah,
like, there's a lot of things that were related to that.
yeah.
And
Well, and
eh,
like, and my
yeah,
mom was religious too, and like because we went to the same church,
yeah,
funnily
yeah, yeah.
enough. Um, So I feel like my mom is like disappointed because neither my brother nor myself have like followed in that like religious faith footsteps that she has.
Sure.
Um, but at the same time, like she almost has a beef with the Catholic Church now because of everything that they've done.
Yeah, and I think there's a difference between the Catholic faith and the Catholic institution.
Yes. Yeah,
So
and that's what I told her too. I'm like, if you're going by the institution, mom, there's gonna be corruption in any religion that you try to like go to.
yeah,
But if you believe in like the Bible part of it, that's the actual faith part. Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's the part that matters.
Like I'll go to like when I'm home, like I'll go to church because I'm raised Catholic, and Filipinos in general are pretty religious, groups.
Yeah.
Um, so I've gone to but for me now it's like I still believe in God. I'll still go to mass, everything. Um, if I'm at a party with family or whatever, I'll do the prayer. So it's not like I've totally negated everything, at least from my
Hmm.
end. But I'm really more of like that holiday Catholic where I'll go on the major holidays and
Yeah.
maybe a few services here and there, but usually with people.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and I guess the difference in that too is like regardless of how often you go, like
mhm.
do you still believe in those teachings?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and for me, it's a definite yes. I mean, I went to like Sunday school, did all that stuff,
Hmm.
and it's funny because I have this conversation like with a lot of my agnostic friends here, um, who view
Oh, sorry.
science as like the it's fine. Who view science who view science as the ultimate like end all be all sort of aspect for everything. I'm like, dude, we hardly know our own universe, let alone know the constructs of how science and religion intertwined with each other. So
Yeah.
and people are like, oh, do you believe in the God of gaps? Like, I just believe in God, and there's gaps in
Hmm.
our knowledge to explain things.
Yeah.
So I'm more or less in the realm of you can have both. You can read scientific papers and still have faith.
See, and that's something that isn't really talked about a lot is that why can't God exist with science?
Exactly. Yeah. Uh, there's this notion that if I can't explain it, then it can't be true. And so you have these guys who are like, oh, I could explain the creation of the universe with the Big Bang Theory, but the part before this, where did that come from?
Yeah, but then you
Huh?
can ask that with God too.
Exactly. So it's like, what came
That's the
first, the
thing.
chicken? What came
That's
first,
the
the
thing
chicken or
is,
the
yeah,
egg?
you can always go back one more. Like, okay, if that's what started this, then what started that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all a tapestry of trying to
I think the
wade
whole thing is
through
is that we
stuff.
can't prove it either way.
That's the problem.
So it comes down to faith, and that's what it is. It's really
Yeah, the only knock that religion gets, I think now, I mean, aside from like all the scandals and all that, is like if you look at some of the text, like they always think the Earth is the center of the universe, the sun revolves around the Earth, all that sort of
yeah. I
stuff.
think
That
I think a lot of hate that comes from it is like the people that cherry pick what to believe in and what not to believe in the Bible and
yeah,
religious
exactly.
texts.
Yeah,
Because like stereotypically religious people will bash on homosexuality, but then the Bible also talks about like having slaves and stuff, and it's like, oh, do you think that's okay too?
yeah. So that's so I think people just need to take a step back and they're like, those were the times,
Yeah.
and
My thing
times have
is,
changed.
and this I've kind of gotten from Philly D,
Yeah.
is if what you're doing isn't hurting anybody, then it doesn't. Why should I care,
Yeah, that's a good way to look at life.
right?
Hmm.
Because homosexuality is not hurting anyone. Like it's not going to hurt you, the religious person.
Yeah.
So why do you care so much?
Yeah, that gets into a weird realm of things too, because um, there's like certain verses in the Bible that kind of go against, I guess, that aspect of it, which is what people cite the most. I can't remember the
Yeah.
actual passage, but that's what most people who I've seen argue against, same-sex marriages and all that stuff. That's what they tend to hit on. But
Yeah.
as a Catholic and as a Christian, it's like if they like each other and they want to get married, why the fuck are we getting in their way about it?
Right.
What are we doing?
Yeah. And the other thing is like people that don't want it to be legal, it's like, okay, but there's supposed to be a separation of church and state, right?
Correct.
You can say, sure,
correct.
religiously it's wrong, but as far as the Constitution of the United States goes, there's nothing that says anything against it.
Yeah. And I think people need to realize get over yourself.
Yeah, I think that's the thing too.
It's a lot of ego. It's a lot of ego driven
It is.
control.
It's like that thing over there, I don't like it and I don't want it to happen. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, insert anything else into that, right?
Yeah, it's like whatever happened to
that guy's blasting rap music out of his car. I don't like that. Rap should be illegal.
Yeah, if God can forgive a murderer, on his deathbed,
Does he?
technically he'll like that's why they do like the last rites every time they have like these executions, like
Oh,
trying
that's
to
true.
forgive. So it really he doesn't give forgive like completely, but he does allow them to absolve their sins in a way. So it's a process.
I guess that's that
purgatory.
whole "May God have mercy on your soul" thing.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a thing that people just need to be like. So, for a significantly exponentially lesser thing, like I swore or I did all these other stuff, like okay, we don't really give a crap about that anymore, and we're in a new society where 20 years, like 40 years ago, that might have been a in households a
Right.
problem. Like kids swear all the time.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like that's like
kids swear all the time now. And the thing is like, people that try to shelter their kids from these things, it's like they're gonna see it at school. Kids
yeah,
at school are gonna be swearing left and right. So don't think because you aren't saying it, they're not gonna hear it.
it's a new norm. And the idea it's in from a parent's standpoint, it's like it's not trying.
I think it's just
to.
the things that are taboo, like over time, become less taboo.
Yeah, agreed. Although there was a time in like the 70s and 80s where when things were like all the taboo stuff like went out the window.
Yeah.
Like it was a weird time, and then
That's just because the weed came coming in.
that's true. And then everything started to get censored like around the late 90s.
Oh my
And
gosh, yeah, censorship has fallen off so much, which
I
is
know.
nice.
Yeah, and then now it's starting to change a little bit. So it's very unique in that regard.
Yeah. Because
Um,
so like with censorship
mhm.
things, can you imagine like what Game of Thrones would have looked like in the early 90s?
Oh yeah, didn't they do a they did a theme song for it? Have you seen that before?
No.
Oh my god,
But like, because there's so much taboo in Game of Thrones that's like, man,
yeah,
what
I
would
don't
that have been
I don't know.
20 years ago?
Oh man, it would have been bad.
Oh, it's 2020. 30 years ago.
Oh yeah, dude, I feel like we're getting old.
Yeah.
Um, so if you go back to the journal page, I sent you something
Okay.
and the
Oh gosh,
hashtag
90. Oh, it's just the.
PHS.
I see. I see what
intro.
this is. Okay. Yeah. Cause, because 90s intro theme songs.
It reminds me of like Xena.
Where's the starring so and so?
I think
There it is.
There we
There it
go.
is. Sean Bean. Peter Dinklage. Why do I sound like the Saturday Night Live guy? Um, Lena Headey. I don't know how to pronounce her name.
That's right. That sounds about right.
Amelia Clark.
Oh, Amelia Clark.
Yes, I know you like her. Kit Harington. A lot of girls like him.
It's true.
Nicolaj Coster-Waldau.
A lot of girls liked him in the first season.
Jack Gleason.
Ugh.
Macy Williams. Isaac Hempstead Wright. Sophie Turner.
Ooh, Sophie Turner.
Alfie Allen. Aidan Gillen and Conleth Hill.
I like that.
Christian,
I like
I got the last one.
Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good old 90s intro.
Oh man. Yeah, Game of Thrones in the 90s would have been boring as fuck.
Right.
It would have died. It would have died the same way like all those other adventure TV shows back in the
Yeah.
90s.
Because when did, like, I feel like Lord of the Rings really jump started the fantasy genre back
2000.
up again.
That's like the late 90s, early 2000s for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Because, God, when did Fellowship come out? Was it 01?
oh, I don't know. That was 2001.
2001. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So that really, like, kickstarted the fantasy genre again.
yeah, in a positive way too. Could you imagine if that flopped?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, the Hobbit movies did.
Well, luckily, that's because
I mean, they didn't, like, flop, but they just weren't as good.
it's because the OG Fellowship stuff are like hella good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's good stuff.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, hopefully, you know, this genre continues to grow. I know D&D has always been sort of like a soft spot for a lot of people from the
Yeah.
90s. Like, I didn't get
I
into
mean,
it
didn't
till, like,
Gygax, like, start that, like, from Lord of the Rings stuff?
I think so.
Isn't that how he kind of got the idea?
I think so. Yeah, I remember Chris Perkins talking about it on a podcast before, and I think a lot of it, yeah, is based on all that.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. Because he has a lot of creatures that are, like, from Lord of the Rings, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and I think now it's like it's such an established component of pop culture that um, it's hard pressed for a movie to come out that's in that fantasy genre. And
Sorry, you cut out. What?
oh, I said that. So with D&D and things like Lord of the Rings, it's so intertwined in our pop culture that
Yeah.
that to come out with a movie that's in that same genre, you have to bring the same level, which is difficult.
Right. Yeah. Especially with, like, the creatures and mythologies that come with it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because then it's just like, okay, this is just a D&D movie. Or, okay, this is just a Lord of the Rings ripoff. And you kind of want to, like, avoid that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Which I guess Game of Thrones did a good job of it.
The thing is, I think it's because they based it off like a political thriller before it became like this majestical thing. I mean, they opened up with majestical stuff because remember the first scene, the guy gets his head chopped off by a White Walker, but
Yeah. But, like, even the White Walkers, it's something that we haven't really seen before, and we weren't sure what they were.
yeah, agreed.
Whereas, like, the only, like, mythological thing they brought into it was dragons.
I agreed.
So,
Because I love dragons.
yeah, dragons are badass.
It's true.
But I think what you said was interesting too, where they really approached it from, like, a more political thing. So it's like a fantasy. It's like politics, but in a fantasy genre, which is something we haven't really seen.
Yeah, and I think I think a lot of movies now like really base it off like historical context, like a lot of Greek kind of in that mythology component rather than like medieval knights and armor and all that stuff.
Yeah, which I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I like Greek, Egyptian, Norse mythology. Has always been interesting to me.
Yeah,
maybe because of the game Age of Mythology, but yeah,
good game. It's a good game.
It's a fun game.
Non-spawn. But yeah, that's I'm hoping like more and more stuff come out. But it's hopefully at the same quality, even if it's not at the same production level, at least at the same quality of story and acting.
Right, and that's really the thing is I want to be able to, like, when I watch a show, I want to get absorbed into this world that show has created, whether or not it exists in our world or not. I want to like, it needs to be believable, I guess.
Yeah, believable in the sense of you're not the physics work out in a way.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's more like believable in the sense that, like, their actions have consequences and it makes sense for, like, what you've created in this world. So whatever laws that you create in this world, as long as your characters are abiding by them, then it, like, makes sense.
Yeah. It's I think the one thing about fantasy is that I think it's better served in like an actual game context, more or less, more than like a movie, I guess, where the story can be told through cutscenes, but the story can change based on the actions that you
Oh
know,
yeah,
conduct.
yeah.
Um,
It's really it'd be difficult to do like a like choose your own adventure kind of show.
yeah.
Um, I know like Markiplier has actually done a couple like choose your own adventure like videos.
Oh, cool.
Those have been really cool because it's like a he'll get to a point at the end of the video where it's like, all right, should I do this or this? And then you like, depending on which one you click on, it takes you to a different video, and then it kind of branches off into different endings.
Yeah, that's always fun because that's a lot of work, but at the same time,
It's a lot of work,
that's
but
great.
it's super cool.
Yeah.
And like I was like, oh man, so that's what happens when I do this. What if I go back, 4 videos and do this thing?
Yeah, yeah. Do I still end up in the same spot, or does it change a
Yeah,
little bit?
yeah.
Um,
So that kind of thing is really cool. But in like a mass TV audience, I don't think it's like doable.
and I think that's why you don't see a lot of outside from Game of Thrones, but Game of Thrones itself is like convoluted to the max. Um, that's probably why you don't see that kind of show out there right now.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think especially with fantasy stuff, there's usually like a lot of characters, so you have to spend a lot of time like establishing those characters.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. It's and you have to. It's almost as if your first season is really just an introduction to everybody's like skills and
Right.
talents and
And
personality
that's why like Lord of
types.
the Rings was so important because they had to like establish everybody in Fellowship of the Ring, but also like they had to make enough money and keep everyone interested enough to make the sequels.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It kind of push the story along.
Yeah, cuz like if you establish all the characters but don't really do anything with the story and
Yeah.
like the movie tanks, then you have nothing else. Like so you established everything for nothing.
Yep. 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 I think it's. I'm not sure if that's the reason why a lot of shows, aside from like Game of Thrones and that sort of genre, like they have like closed storylines. It's like
Yeah,
almost formulaic in a way,
right.
of how everything happens. So
Yeah, and I think as far as like a season, you almost have to have like a at least for the first season, you have to have like a closed story, but then you have to make it so you know that the timeline is open and unknown to the people
yeah,
and they
yeah.
want to know where it goes.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that's tough to do.
Yeah, yeah. I hand it to those producers and editors out there who are able to put that stuff together in a
Yeah,
very cohesive fashion while making us still not feel like
yeah,
it's slow or you know still stuck in like the first season of a TV show.
right. I'd be curious to see like how the books differ once George R. R. Martin finishes them.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Kind of sucked that he fell so far behind the show.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because, like, with the Harry Potter books, like, J.K. Rowling stayed ahead of the movies.
Yeah, yeah, she did, and she like her initial like sets of story hella good. But man,
Yeah.
these most recent things not the best.
No, yeah, the original, like, 8 Harry Potter movies were fantastic.
Yep, yep.
They brought in people that didn't read the books, and they kept the audience of the people that did read the books. And sure, there's a lot of missing storylines, like, Peeves doesn't exist at all, and, like, Hermione's whole, like, fight for elf rights didn't
Mm-hmm.
show up at all, but I think for the most part they kept the cohesive story together very
Yep,
well.
agreed. Yep. Hmm.
Yeah.
Man, good stuff.
Yep. God, can you like? I want to go back, or at least maybe not go back, but I want to find like the next thing like that, where it's like a book series that almost takes the world by storm, and then they create either a show or movies out of it that also capture the world by storm.
Twilight.
No,
No, fuck
they
you, not
tried it.
Twilight.
They tried, and
They tried.
no. But like Game of Thrones was that thing. I think it came in after Harry Potter, and it took the world by storm. And now we're kind of waiting for the next one.
Yeah, they tried doing like Ender's Game.
Yeah, and it didn't really do well.
It didn't.
Did they have anything after that initial movie?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
They had
And then
like
they tried to do like
Limited
the
Snicket.
Hunger Games, but even the Hunger Games books didn't, or the Hunger Games movies, I feel like didn't succeed as much.
Yeah, one was great. Everything else kind of was eh.
Yeah.
Um, what else? What else were they trying to do?
I don't know if there was any other big series. Remember when they tried to do Chronicles of Narnia?
Oh yeah, that's
I remember
yeah.
they had like Lion Witch of the Wardrobe and then Prince Caspian, and then I didn't hear about anything after that.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if they kept going or not.
I think they stopped because the kids got older too.
Yeah. See, and that's the thing with the Harry Potter ones is that they aged as the books went along, so it was actually like really good.
Yeah, because they were close to
did that.
graduating by the time they were done, and they were
Yeah.
like college kids, so that it fit. Yeah, I'm not really sure there's any like series that would fit. I know a lot of singular books have been made into movies. Artemis Fowl, I think, is one that they're trying to do.
Hmm. They did make Voyage of the Dawn Treader for Narnia movies.
Oh, interesting.
I didn't even know they made that one.
Did they make
Ooh.
Call of the Wild?
Call of the Wild sounds familiar.
Interesting.
2009 film.
Wow.
Ugh. That was a mistake clicking on this.
Oops.
Call of the Wild 3D
3D.
came out in 2009, starring Christopher Lloyd, Wes Studi, Timothy Bottoms, Ariel Gade, and Amy Teagarden.
Oh my god.
A 20-year-old Amy Teagarden.
Wow. Dang.
I don't think I read that book.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I can't really think of anything good. Yeah, you're right. I think it's really just Game of Thrones. That's really been the big one.
Yeah. I don't think there's really been anything else.
Wow. Okay.
So we're waiting. Authors and producers.
Shout out to anybody who makes a good book.
Makes a good series.
Yeah, a good book series.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean the Da Vinci Code I liked, but I know they weren't like.
The movies weren't that good.
I liked the first one. The second
The books
one,
were
second one's
so
okay.
much better.
Yeah, dude,
I love
the second
Dan
book was
Brown's
great.
my favorite author.
Yeah.
I love his books, especially the Robert Langdon ones.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I love those.
I haven't read the new one that he did. Oh, I guess the relatively new one that he did.
For a book,
Book, yeah.
what was that one called?
The one after Angels and Demons.
What about Angels and Demons?
The one after that.
Angels and Demons was pre Da Vinci Code, so Da Vinci Code was actually after Angels and Demons.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then they actually skipped the because they made a movie for like Inferno or something, and they skipped the Lost Symbol, which was actually my favorite in the series.
Oh, see, I haven't read The Lost Symbol yet. Was that really good?
I liked it a lot. It was my favorite book out of the Robert Langdon series.
And
But yeah, Angels and Demons came out first, and then he hit huge commercial success with Da Vinci Code. And then he did Lost Symbol, Inferno, and then Origin. For me, Origin was like the weakest out of all those, because it felt more like he was just along for the ride, whereas the other ones he was like actively trying to be the one to solve what was happening.
gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought Angels and Demons had a cool plot with the with Obi-Wan Kenobi.
The thing is, the movie ending and the book ending were different.
Yeah, they were for sure.
Yeah.
Did they make an Inferno movie?
I thought they did. I remember them. I remember hearing about it, and I was like, why didn't they do Lost Symbol? Because that's next in line.
That's interesting. I wonder if it's because they're all standalone.
They are. I mean,
Technically,
like
yeah.
he'll reference very lightly like the events of the previous ones.
Like the
He'll be like, "Oh, I remember. I heard about your time in Italy or whatever." Then
yeah.
it kind of like hints upon like the former books, but they don't have like a cohesive storyline.
Got it.
They're all standalone stories.
Got
Yeah.
it. Interesting. Yeah, I gotta check it out. I'll watch that. Good old Felicity Jones.
I recommend the books.
Yeah, I read Angels and Demons. I read Da Vinci Code. I haven't read anything else since then.
Yeah. All right.
Oh
Well,
man.
read Lost Symbol next, I guess,
Okay, I'll check it out.
because that's next in the series. But
Cool, man.
yeah,
Oh man, how much time have you been on the podcast here? Oh,
it's been. We're at an hour 16 now. Ish.
sweet. Yeah. All right. Awesome.
Yeah, we should probably call it.
Yeah, we can call it here. Sounds good.
Yeah. Hit us with the outro.
Sounds good, man. So yeah, thanks to everybody who's been joining us so far on our new podcast.
Yes.
Is
No, I said yes.
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 We're glad that you guys been sticking with us. And yeah, I think you guys know where we're going with all this. Just us hanging out and having a good time, just talking to each other, and hopefully engaging with you guys on the social media platforms and probably on
Yes.
Twitch as well. So yeah, man. So I'm Tito7177, aka D, aka Danilo, aka Dan. So you can catch me on Twitter, Instagram, etc. With Tito7177. And then you can also reach my boy ZeldaMariners, aka Ryan,
Yes.
on all the social media platforms as well under ZeldaMariners. Yeah, and we'll see you guys next time.
See you guys.
Bye.
Peace.
Peace.